totally messed that up. But hold on real quick.
Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Okay, so got it right that time. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous. I am Scoos Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right, and we're here to give you our reviews and takes on all movies and television and things of that nature. I like that one. So what's going on with you, bro?
Man, I'm making it out here in these streets, man. Glad to be back potting, man. We're a couple of days late, man. I went out of town, but it was good to feel some different air. Well, smell some different air, feel some different air, just to get out the state for a minute. So, but I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm glad to be back at home. I was missing home early, but I was missing home early. Like, the first day I was there, like you know what I'm saying, slept in the bed and shit. I was like, yo, I said, well, I missed my bed, but I ain't gonna lie, but
yeah.
But then I would say this though, man, this November I will be at FedEx for 14 years, right?
Nice.
And when I tell you, like, I'm just so used to doing that shit, I was ready to go back to work. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I was ready to go back to work, man. I was like, you know what?
I feel your pain.
Like, it's good to be out for a minute, but it's just like, man, my body clock, I'm so used to, you know what I'm saying, being in that truck doing all that shit. So I ain't gonna lie, man. It was good to get out for 4 days, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm glad to be back at home, get ourselves back on our schedule, man, and get these pods out to the people, man. But
yes, sir.
But how you feeling, man? Everything good with you?
Man, I'm feeling the same way you feeling, man. I'm ready to go back to work, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been out for 4 days as well. My foot been swelling up, so
damn.
You know, yeah, man. Thursday I was limping like crazy, and then Friday, you know what I'm saying, that was the worst of it. You know what I mean? It was pretty hard to walk, but you know what I'm saying, I did okay. And then Saturday was a good day. You know what I mean? I was trying to get back acclimated. And then Sunday, it kicked back in and got up to my ankle. And then today, my foot is cool, but it's just my ankle now. So I don't know, man. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back to work, see how it, you know what I'm saying, play out. Hopefully, I'll be okay. But outside of that, though, everything else is cool, man. I'm living life. I've been working, you know what I'm saying, as everybody can see, getting these graphics and everything together for the pod, the video, you know what I'm saying. I played the wrong video. Played the wrong video starting off though, but you know what I'm saying, like I said, they new graphics, so y'all just bear with us. I'm getting used to it.
Hey man, we are humans, man. That's the one thing about it, man. The human element, man. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes don't happen. Yeah, that's what happens. That's why you don't judge a person off their worst moment. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It happens, man. And that's the part of podcasting, man. You know, I be listening to these people who are, I don't know if I would necessarily say professionals, but like more well-known people and, you know what I'm saying, more popular podcasts and stuff like that. They be fucking up all the time. Fuck that shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a part of it, you know what I'm saying? It's our trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, you know, we get it together, you know what I'm saying? We get into our groove, we'll be straight.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. So that's the one thing. Look, man, I like Rappaport. I ain't gonna lie. But sometimes, man, I be feeling a little offended. He be saying, "Yo, this is a professional podcast." Like, what you mean, man? Like,
he be talking shit though.
Yeah,
man.
He is shit talker though. Man.
That's what he do. That's what he do.
I ain't gonna lie though. I be taking that shit personally.
I feel you. I feel you. I be like, it was a nice little stint where I was listening to like a whole bunch of podcasts, trying to listen to the mistakes and the errors and stuff that was going on. I'm like, that made me feel better, just a tad bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I be the same way. Like when somebody said like the wrong name and shit, I be like, yeah, like you fucked that up. Because I know I be doing it too. Because I go back to listen, I'm like, damn, I fucked that up. But the other motherfuckers, they be fucking up too. So makes me feel.
But
better.
I mean, to me, man, that's the fun about doing pods, though, man. It ain't really no real rules to it. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just got to go with the flow. And I mean, as long as you got everything set as far as your base, everything else is cool.
But then, like, another thing, like, and we've probably said this before, but like, yo, a lot of this shit, we be going off the dome.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, you make mistakes from time to time, you know, especially if you're going off the dome. And I try to take pride in that, man, of like just going off the cuff of things, getting a natural reaction and all that type of thing. So a lot of it, man, just really be all movie knowledge. We look up a little bit of shit, but like we really don't. Like a lot of this shit is off the cuff. So you'll fuck up from time to time. But I think that's the human element of things. You hear a lot about that in sports. Like some people, especially when it comes to baseball, because they be like, do they want to go away from umpires and and all that type of stuff? And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's the human element of it. Like they're gonna miss a call from time to time, but that's like the whole point of it. Like it's a human game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's cool to have replays, if you want to get it right. But like for 90% of it, man, let it be humans, man.
Definitely. You right about that shit. But man, I know what I'm saying, you're excited to get on to this next segment, man. This is one of our favorite segments. It's called What We Watching. Are you ready, my brother?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, this time I'm playing the right video.
What we watching?
What we watching?
All right, so what you got, man?
All right, man. First of all, I gotta make an apology to the Viewers Anonymous listeners. This is sincerely from S. Foster. I am so sorry. I don't have a new one. But y'all, I can't stop. I'm still on The Sopranos, man.
Oh,
I can't stop watching it, man. Listen.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, I done made it to season 4. And I just this is the crazy part. I just finished this shit back in December. It ain't even been a whole year, and I'm gonna start watching this shit again.
Yeah,
man, it's so good, man. It's so captivating, man. And it's like the thing is, and I'm promise you, I'm not trying to pitch it to you, but I'm telling you, you would love Tony Soprano, man. He is your perfect character. You love the antagonist. You love the root for the not the enemy, but the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
This show is really right up your alley, man. And this show is the only other show out of all the shows that I have watched, right? I've only rewatched in its entirety because, like, you can't count like Martin and stuff like that because, like, you catch episodes, from here and there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in its entirety, which I haven't finished this yet, but again, is Luther. That's the only other show that I went back. I've actually watched Luther, a BBC show starring Idris Elba, like 3 times. I've actually rewatched it 3 times. That and The Sopranos is the only thing that I've went back to. Like, dude, I be feeling for it, man. I'm trying to tell you. Yo, this shit, it's even good the second time around because it's like there were some things that I missed the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And like going back and watching it for a second time, there's other things that I picked up on because the first time I watched it was, the first time I watched it, I just watched it all the way through. So going back is actually better going back watching it for the second time. So
yeah, I agree.
And so I apologize, y'all. I don't have nothing new. I've started something else, but I got an inkling. That's what we watching is. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna see if I'm right.
Okay.
But y'all, I'm still watching The Sopranos on HBO Max. Go check it out. At some point, I'm telling y'all, Scoots Bronson is gonna be watching this show. But go ahead.
I'm definitely gonna check it out, man. I got to because it's one of them shows that everybody, done already watched. They rewatch it, they talk about it, and I made a movie about it and everything else. And it's one of those cultural things too. So you gotta go back and watch it.
And maybe it depends on how you like stuff though, because the Many Saints of Newark is the prequel, is the before. So that's how I did it. I watched that, so I didn't really know what was going on, and then I watched The Sopranos, and then everything is making sense.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to watch the show first and then watch the movie, or watch the movie and then that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, because when you watch it the first time, it just throw you into these characters. You don't know who Paulie is, you don't know who Silvio is, but and Michael. But if you watch that, you see their dads, and you'll see the younger versions of them, and then. You know what I'm saying? It'll take you into The Sopranos. So if you do watch it, no pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know which way you like, but I don't know if you want to watch the movie first and then the show, or the show and then the movie. But
yeah, I'll probably watch the I'll probably watch the show first and then watch the movie. That way, like you said, I know what's going on in the movie and what all the references and everything are for sure.
Yeah. But what you got?
Well, for me, man, I got on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? And they've been shoving this down my face every time I got on Facebook, every time I got on Instagram. Matter of fact, when I was on Snapchat, I seen the ad for it. Excuse me. And so, you know what I'm saying? I went ahead and checked it out, man. And mine is Night Shift with Jamie Foxx, man. It got Snoop Dogg in it. It got Megan Good in it. And a bunch of other people I didn't realize. And then they got my man Dave Franco in it too. It was a great movie. Jamie Foxx plays a vampire hunter who basically, you know, I think I said night shift. It's called day shift. So if I said night shift, my apologies. But he's basically a vampire hunter who is almost on the outs. He's about to get fired from his job. And yeah, he did a great job in it. It was good seeing him in an action movie as well. We don't really get to see him in too many action films. I know he did great in Miami Vice, but this one he really did great. As far as the production of it was super good too, because there was some stuff that he was doing in there that you knew it wasn't Jamie Foxx, but they made it look as close to as Jamie Foxx as possible. So I definitely appreciated that, man. That was fire for sure.
First of all, I was right. I knew it was going to be day shift. But this is the thing. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I started it. I still got 27 minutes left. I ended up stopping it on last night. I had some stuff to do. Then I was going to go back and watch it. Then some stuff came up. But I'm going to tell you something I did notice, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong about this. This is just S. Foster speculation.
Mm-hmm.
When he first went back into the, what do you call it? The Union.
Yeah.
If you look to the left when he first walked in, there was a picture of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah,
I could be wrong about this. Yeah, I could be wrong. Yeah, but dope. I'm just saying, about all the presidents, y'all got Abraham Lincoln up there when they made a movie a while back about him being a vampire killer or whatever, all this type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that is hilarious. I knew it was gonna be that. But you missed the movie though. You said about action. Forgot about that movie he came out with last year, the year before. That was that Project Power.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about that. You are right, but he wasn't really like. I mean, he did some things in it, but compared to this, Miami Vice, nah, man. Like he was in his bag, and this was like Miami Vice was good because you know what I'm saying. It's really like some gun shooting, a couple fight scenes, but this one, bro, he was getting busy, bro.
Dude, I want to thank you, man. I never heard so many people criticize Miami Vice. I fuck with Miami Vice.
No, Miami Vice was great. Yeah,
that movie was great. I thought it was good. Now, there was a lot of stories off camera. Mm-hmm. Supposedly him and Colin didn't get along. And there was fights in between the crew. And there was...
He seemed to not get along with co-hosts a lot.
It seemed like there was a lot going on like off screen. But the product we got, I liked it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did too.
I
did too. I definitely did too. So, man, let's get into this feature presentation, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, man, this movie that we got today, man, is a classic. You know what I'm saying? At least to us. It came out in 2002, directed by Martin Scorcese. It's starring Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Man, we're talking about gangs in New York. This movie is basically about a young boy who is out to avenge his father's death. Excuse me. After he died in a local gang war, and basically he get mentored by the guy who killed his father, only to then eventually kill his mentor. Going back and watching this, bro, what was your thoughts?
Well, going back and watching it, I watched it with a different lens this time. Like the first time I watched it, I just thought, man, you know, this is a cool movie, cool concept. And the first time I watched it, I didn't know the greatness of Martin Scorcese. So going back and watching it after watching certain Martin Scorsese movies, so now I'm watching it, oh, that's something that he does. I didn't notice that the first time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm picking up on different shit because when I watched it the first time, I didn't know that it was Martin.
Yeah.
And another thing that has to be said is, and I've been thinking about this question, man, for the past couple of days, because I know, you know what I'm saying, I want to apologize to you as well, because I said I could possibly do it on a regular day when I was out of town, but end up getting into a lot of stuff, and I forgot to text you, and it just got crazy. So, but I've been thinking about this since then. What are your thoughts on method actors, man, like a Daniel Day-Lewis, who gets so engulfed into a role where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I've heard stories about Daniel Day-Lewis on set where people like, yo, this dude is, you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on method actors?
To me, it's one of those talents that, you know what I'm saying, they call them, you know what I'm saying, like it's a gift from God. Because it's like, to be a method actor is one of those things where you have to like really be that character. And we seen, you know, speaking of Jamie Foxx, we seen him do it with Ray, and like he became Ray Charles. You know what I'm saying? Like anything you seen Daniel Day-Lewis in, he is that character. Like a lot of people don't even know. I just found out what Daniel Day-Lewis looks like.
I was just about to say the same thing.
I'm not even being funny. Like when I just looked up the IMDb so I could see who I was in it. Like I literally just found out what dude looks like out on the regular outside everyday life. Because in Gangs of New York, you see him as the Butcher, and in Lincoln, you see him as it really is. In Lincoln, you see him as Abraham Lincoln. You don't know what this dude looks like, and he's been in like a bunch of fucking movies. But like, I've never seen this dude like outside a day in my life, and to me, he looked like Billy Bob Thornton.
He do look like Billy Bob Thornton.
But like his career is so crazy because it's like the shit that he's been in. You don't realize that these are movies that are like the Hollywood world considers like historical pieces. Like if they had a museum, Daniel Day-Lewis would have his own wing of the museum. That's how good this dude is. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so to be a method actor, like you really, to me, I feel like you would either have to have had a lot of training, or you would basically, I guess, just like Jamie Foxx is, you would just have to be super talented. So for him to, you know what I'm saying, like have this long historic run of these roles, and everybody's like, yeah, you know, this is one of the best method actors we've ever seen. I mean, I enjoy it. I think that it's a great thing. It kind of takes away from you knowing who the actor is. Like, and I keep referencing Jamie Foxx. This is the only person I can think of right now, so y'all got to forgive me. But watching Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, bro, you really forget you watching Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a lot of people that can do that. So watching Daniel Day-Lewis and not knowing who this nigga has been my entire life, but always seeing him on some type of film or whatever, whenever he's out, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know too many other people. Like, even with Sacha Baron Cohen, like when he was doing the Borat thing, like, and he was doing Ali G, nobody knew who this nigga was for real. Nobody knew what this nigga looked like, because every time he was out, he was either Borat or Ali G. So when he finally came out and was and start doing like regular acting, it was like, oh shit, that's who this dude is. So like, to me, those are the type of actors I enjoy to a certain extent. I kind of, you know what I'm saying, like wish they would do other things so we can get familiar with them and kind of appreciate them more. But outside of that, like you really just gotta, I mean, you gotta, you know, give as many flowers as you can, because that's a real skill. Like, it's a talent, but it's a real skill at the end of the day. What about you?
I mean, what I think the word, the term that you was looking for was, he got the it factor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't explain it. It's just, it's it. You know what I mean? And I'm the same with you. I didn't even know what he looked like.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've seen him in stuff. I've seen him in this. I've seen him in Lincoln. There Will Be Blood, which is really kind of the same damn thing we'll be doing today in a sense. But, like, yeah, I really didn't know what the dude looked like. But I think it's that it factor of, like, you know, I've heard stories. Like, I was just listening to a podcast today, and they was talking about this one actor dude, and he was saying that he had a scene like it's two dudes on the show. What is it? The Crew Has It. I think that's what it's called. It's Michael Rainey Jr. and I forget Giamatti something. They from Ghost Power Book.
Yeah, I know Michael Rainey is the dude that don't nobody like. Tariq,
yeah,
right?
Tariq, yeah. So they was talking about a scene that Giovanni had coming up with the dude Zeke, and he said that he seen him and he walked past him. And he was like, "Yo, what's up?" And he said, he just walked past him like with an attitude. He was like, "Damn, did I do something wrong?" And so then they because they had a bad scene together coming up.
Oh, okay.
And so then they did the scene. He was like, after they did the scene, he was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" He was like, "Man," he was like, "You just gave me like a head nod earlier." And he was like, "Oh man, I was just, what I'm saying, preparing, and it's like some people have to do that. Like, yo, like I got a fight scene coming up with you. So if I see you, like if we shooting at 2 and I see you at 11, like some of them, like the method actors are like, yo, like, nah, we ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be fighting each other at, 2 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? When we shooting." And so he was like, that's what the dude was doing. So like you hear some of these stories, man, of like these people who, like, I'm pretty sure like while he was on set, and a lot of people, they said, "Oh, you know who you forgot?
Who?
Jim Carrey." When he
did Kaufman. Yep.
Kaufman.
Yep, he did Kaufman.
They was like, because they actually filmed him off set, and he was
literally like Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. So that's another one who did it, and they was like he was fucked up for a while. You know what I'm saying that he couldn't really find himself after shooting that.
I kind of think he still is though.
I mean,
like after that Kaufman shit, like he got real spacey.
He did. He
not Kevin Spacey, but he got real like
spacey. That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
But you going back rewatching it, you've already said this is one of your favorite movies. What was it like going back and watching it this time, knowing you're gonna do a pod on it?
Man, first and foremost, anytime I watch this movie, it's a thrill. Only because like these type of historical movies, I truly enjoy because you really get to kind of visualize what it was like in those times. And the one thing that I do like about Scorsese is when he does like anything that's dealing with something like this that's cultural, he really makes sure that he does his best to let you know, like, this is, these are the intricacies of the cultures, right? So when he had, the beginning in New York, and it's like the 1800s, and you got the old timey, cobblestone roads, and you got all of this stuff, and then you got all these guys with these accents, and you have to realize that in the 1800s, like these motherfuckers was immigrants. You know what I'm saying? These weren't just regular Americans that we see every day speaking the English that we speak or anything else. Like these guys had accents. These guys were bringing over culture from their countries. You know what I'm saying? These guys weren't born on this land. These guys came to this land to, get something different. So it was a lot of opportunity for them as well. So you kind of have to keep that in the back of your mind. Like, damn, these guys really are not from here. Like, you know what I'm saying? These guys are from some totally different place. And so, you know what I'm saying, seeing stuff like that, and then, how heavy the Catholic religion was at the time. You know what I'm saying, the way that they treated black people, like in the one scene where it was supposed to be like, I think it was the 4th of July, and then they all start fighting, and it was a big war. Like they showed the scene where a black dude was being hung. Like they had mobbed them, and you know what I'm saying, like they were stringing them up to hang them. And it was like, yo, that shit makes sense because that's some shit that would happen in 18 whatever, because that's the fuck they were doing. So I mean, anytime I see this movie, bro, I get excited because I know it's not like factual, but it's gonna be as close to the real thing as we can get without really being in the real thing. And it kind of puts you back in that time. And I think that's just the magic of Scorsese. He's able to make you feel like you're there without you being there. And it's like every time I watch this movie, like that's how I feel. I feel like I'm in those cobblestone roads. I feel like I'm on the sideline watching these guys fight. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, when they talking and they drinking and everything else, you kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying, you in the tavern with them and shit like that. So I already love this movie, but to watch it and then know I'm doing the pod on it makes it even better, because now I'm like paying attention to certain shit that I probably wouldn't pay attention to. I'm trying to focus and shit, but whenever I'm watching it, I'm just watching it for the enjoyment of it, and it's the same feeling every time.
Well, like you said, there's some stuff that's special, like the story itself is kind of like, you know what I'm saying, Scorsese went into his bag with it, but like things like as far as gang names and like the 5 points, that shit is like real. You know what I'm saying? The Broward Boys was an actual gang. The Broadway Boys was an actual gang. The 40 Thieves was an actual gang. The Dead Rabbits was an actual gang. So he put together a story of like how Irishmen were treated and like stuff like that, and like the gang names was actually real, but also basing this around, you know what I'm saying, Lincoln signing the Emancipation Proclamation, you know what I'm saying, abolishing slavery, and then the draft and how they, you know what I'm saying, this was like the first January 6th for real. You know what I'm saying? They broke into that damn one building, you know what I'm saying, when they were trying to do them draft cards.
Yeah.
Man, they went in there and fucked that place up. Started killing people, set it on fire and everything. Like, we ain't going nowhere. And then telling them, if you ain't got $300, you gotta go, when nobody at that time had $300.
Hey, bro. just the fact that all that corruption was going on around that time, it's so believable, because like I'm gonna tell you how corrupt this shit was in this movie. Like, you bring up a good point talking about that, the whole $300 thing. The even funnier part was the fucking firefighters had gangs, bro.
Yeah, like, and they would show up and fight each other. Like, what the fuck? My house is on fire, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, fuck that. They was also, remember when the dudes was running in stealing shit while the thing was on fire? They was going in there stealing shit too.
Yo, it's wild, man.
Man, come on, bro. That motherfucker, he went in, he said, is anything left? He said, I don't know, motherfucker, you gotta check for the scraps. I'm like, yo, you supposed to be taking this motherfucker down, not letting the fire take it off and take my shit. So, I mean, like, just seeing that, bro, just knowing how much corruption and shit was going on around that time, like, you could only imagine. Because this is like at the beginning of the shit. This ain't even where like shit was like official yet. So this is at the beginning of every fucking thing. And I want to say this was, I'm trying to think, the White House wasn't even built yet. So this was like,
I don't know. It might have been, well,
because the first I know that the first place was Philadelphia, and then it went to New York at some time, and I think, well, maybe this was around the time that the White House was being built. Because I know in New York,
I know Philadelphia was the first like capital.
Yeah, and then they had I think it was a place in New York, and then it went.
You sure it wasn't Massachusetts? It wasn't Boston?
You might be right. I know it's somewhere in that
Tea Party shit.
No, Boston is
What the fuck am I thinking
is
about?
The Boston Tea Party was about taxes.
Yeah, and they dumped tea in the water. Like,
they was taxing on the imports and exports of the tea. That was the Revolutionary War. That's 1770 something.
Okay.
The Revolutionary War was 76. That's when it ended. But I know the Boston Tea Party was in the 1700s.
Yeah, and that's when they did the independent shit. You know, that's why January 4th, 1776.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is later, because this is it started out in 1846. But you know what I'm saying. But if you know your history, you know, even though they did 12 years later, it's like, all right, well, was it 12, 14? What was it? And but we knew it was 1865 because they abolished slavery, and that's what the whole shit was surrounded about, was the draft and trying to get them to fight. Like that one scene where that one soldier saw that black guy, he was like, "Yo, I lost an arm because of you." And my man was like, well, "Good job." Like,
you talking about Jimmy?
What you was supposed to do? Like, that's what you was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey man, hold on. What is dude's name? Because this nigga has been in multiple movies, bro, and I've never heard Lawrence Gillard Jr. or Gilliard Jr. That nigga has been in all kind of movies. He's been all kind of characters. I've never ever seen this nigga in any other thing except for playing a supporting role.
He was in The Wire.
He was a supporting. He was what, had a small stint in that. Because ain't no way he was a main character. He was a crackhead in that, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't a crackhead. He was a drug dealer.
Okay, well that makes sense. He either a drug dealer, he either a crackhead, he either like a sidekick, or he either like a evil villain. This is the first role where this nigga was like a neutral party, and then even then he really wasn't because he was in the game.
That's funny. You stupid. Oh man. So listen, man. We got to get into Bill the Butcher, man. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite character.
Yo, and you know, I always, and then like I thought that that Benny the Butcher got his name from this, but he said he actually got Benny from
Benny Blanco,
The Godfather. Was it The Godfather?
I don't know. Benny Blanco was Carlito's Way.
It was. I think it was Carlito's Way. Yeah, it was Carlito's Way. But he said he got the butcher because somebody said something about cutting shit or something. I don't know. But I thought he got
real quick. Sidetrack. You know that DJ Vlad from Vlad TV, his nickname was the Butcher?
Yeah. He was on Brilliant Idiots.
No, I found that out from my Mav Hoffa, my Expert Opinion podcast. He was talking about when he used to actually be a DJ, and I think he was in Cali. No, he grew up in Cali and then he moved somewhere else. I forgot where he said, but when he moved there, when he got older, he started wanting to be a DJ and shit. And then they said he should be like Vlad the Butcher because that's like I guess a person or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I heard him. That. I heard him say that to the. I think it was Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, we gotta get into him, man. Like the type of person that he was, man. Like it was crazy. But the one thing that I did respect about him was, and even really respected about that time, was the fact of like they set up a date. We're gonna fight on this date. We're gonna select the weapons that we're gonna use, and we're gonna go at it at a certain time. And like so, when he went against the priest, he really respected the priest. You know what I'm saying? It was just they just had different outlooks, outlooks on life, on how to handle certain situations. So Bill was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna fight to the death." And the way that they did it is one of these dudes getting taken out, we're gonna stop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so also when it comes to Amsterdam, like we saw the meeting where they was like, "Yo, we're gonna fight this day. We're gonna fight at this time. We're gonna select these weapons." You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna fight to the death or whatnot. But my whole thing about Bill is like these characters where, when he was talking to Amsterdam, I got, I pretty much own everything around here, or at least got a piece in it. Yeah. And like he was charging people for his time. Like he was like, "Don't come here empty-handed the next time you come see me."
I mean,
and it's just like
this gang in the 5 points at this point.
Yeah, and it's just like to think about how a person, you know what I'm saying, gets to that point. And the one thing that I respect about Bill the Butcher is the fact of he's willing to get his hands dirty. Not literally with the meat, but I mean literally he will go into the battle.
Whoa, that shit sounds crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sounded real crazy. But like he actually went in the battle. You know what I'm saying? He actually fought. Like he actually went into situations where he would whoop a motherfucking ass, so you could see how people could have that fear. I hate to see when there's a guy ruling, but we don't see where that fear came from. Yeah. So I can actually see where the fear came from, why people would respect him and actually pay for his time. So I'm glad that they did that and showed us that. But we all see, this is another thing people got to realize about this time. You know what I'm saying? 1800s. There wasn't no such thing as the USDA yet. You know what I'm saying? My man is not washing no hands, wrapping this shit in newspapers and throwing it to people.
These niggas had cobblestone roads, nigga. Dysentery and all that shit was alive and well at that time. Niggas was catching gangrene. Like, niggas was getting all that shit, bro. That shit was common, nigga. That shit was like a regular code to these niggas, man.
Don't tell me why. I don't know why I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, but his hand dirty as fuck. He just cutting meat, wrapping it up, throwing it at people like you know what I'm saying? Wasn't no USDA back then, so
at all.
But yeah, man. But what are your thoughts on Bill the Butcher? Because I feel like I already know this. I'm pretty sure this is your favorite character.
100%, bro. Bill the Butcher is definitely my favorite character, only because you already know, so I got an affinity for the villains, man. To me, the story is always as good as the antagonist is. So if your antagonist is a great one, then your story is always going to be a great one, because that means that the protagonist has a lot to overcome and a lot to prove and do and everything else. So that just builds for a better story. You made a great point about talking about just the respect that he had for the priest. It wasn't just the respect that he had for the priest. It was the fact that around that time, it was actual rules of engagement. And that was the whole, we're going to come here this time. We're going to use these weapons, blah, 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 blah. And it was like a gentleman's contract. Like, yo, at the end of the day, remember when he killed the priest, you know what I'm saying? They ended everything. And he said, gather, your spoils, and y'all make sure that, he got a proper burial, he got a proper funeral. To me, like, if you are going to go the war route, that's the way it should be. You know what I mean? It's always the proper thing to do is to respect your opponent. And, he showed the greatest admiration for those that he went against. And that's where, to me, the real fear comes from. It's not because, you got a guy who he'll kill at any moment or anything like that. It's the fact that he respects you enough to know that you're just as dangerous as he is, but he's not going to sit there, and just underestimate you at any cost. He's always trying to make sure he's 3 or 4 steps ahead of you. And to me, that's what, the Butcher was. He was always 3 or 4 steps ahead of everybody else, except for Amsterdam towards the end. He really didn't understand or kind of know what was going on with Amsterdam until it got, towards the end. But I mean, with the Butcher, man, it's like it made sense for him to be that guy, because you got to think of it. At that time in the 1800s, the 5 points, you got your police, you got the fire department going at each other, you got different gangs in the police. Like, these niggas ain't doing their job. They just as corrupt as the next man. You seen what it was like in the politic arena. It was like, it's all bad. The political shit there was all bad. So a nigga like him could thrive in a place like that. You know what I'm saying? He got the mayor in his pocket. He got the police department in his pocket. He got the fire department in his pocket. Like, he got everybody in his pocket. And so, like you said, if I don't own the shit, I at least got a piece of it. And I mean, that to me, that makes for a great villain. Like, who wouldn't want to watch a movie with a villain like that? Like, that's the type of nigga, if you seen him on the street, he'll scare you. Not to mention, like, this nigga was gutting niggas up and beating niggas' asses with one eye. He only had one eye.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like he was out here just, with 2 eyeballs like everybody else. He was really at a disadvantage every time he fought. And the fact that he was fucking people up with one eye, he can only see on one side of his face for real, that make that motherfucker even more dangerous. So, like, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he was out here just running shit, man, I think that's another reason that I fell in love with this movie so much, was because, the way that they wrote the antagonist in this movie, man, is so great, because it's like, and sometimes in the movie you want to hate him, but then again, it's like you can't really hate him, because it's like he really just doing his best to make sure he's surviving and the people around him are surviving. It's not like, he has the ability to live however he want. He, he's living the life that he has to live in order to make, in order to basically live, for lack of a better term. Like, that's what they had to do at that time. So, I mean, he decided, shit, I'm going to be at the top of this motherfucker. And in order for you to get me off the top, you're going to have to, you have to kill me. And, that's what had to be done.
I feel you, but I think what he did with Shiesty, though. That might have been where the term, I'm saying, stab in the back might have came from. You know what I'm saying? Stab a person in the back, because he was known for being that, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to fighting, that honorable person where, you know what I'm saying, where you would do the right thing. Like he even had a picture of the priest, you know what I'm saying, in his establishment.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And tell people like this is the one man that I respected more than anybody.
Yeah.
But you know, for Monk to be like, you know what I'm saying, to do the speech that he did and was like, yo, you know, once you come in, he's like, do you want to do this or do you want to have a conversation? And so basically he figured that, yo, we'll have a conversation. He turned his back, go to walk in, my man stabbed him in the back. And I thought the reason he did Monk like that was because I think that that's what the time that he showed emotion when he was hurt by what happened between him and Amsterdam. I think that he made Amsterdam his right hand man. You know what I'm saying? The more he got to know him.
And you got to remember, Monk was Monk was also on the side when the priest and them was fighting,
but not necessarily.
I mean, remember, of course not.
He was like, "Give me $10," and he was like,
"Yeah,"
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if he wouldn't have gave him $10, well, promised him $10 or whatever, he was like, "That's because he basically told you that I could be bought."
Yep.
But I think that once it was all said and done, when the butcher killed, you know what I'm saying, the priest in the beginning, I think that with Amsterdam coming back and he actually realizing who Amsterdam is, I think that he really kind of had a change of heart, even though he kept that blade. I feel you. I think he was on priest's side, but I think that he also was like, if Bill come to me and, you know what I'm saying, offer me $10, I could be over here on this side as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, everything in that time, bro, like it was like a real lawless time. I mean, like that was, I mean, we know the Wild West. This was the Wild East. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it was all about. You know what I mean? Everybody was trying to find their way up. And you also have to remember at the same time too, all of these guys was immigrants. Like none of these guys was really together. So like even the way that, you know what I'm saying, he treated McGloin at this time. You got to remember, like, this is the way Irish people were being treated. They were being treated as second-class citizens. So the way that he treated McGloin, he basically treated him like he was a pet, like he was his dog. He still showed him love and had respect for him, but he basically treated McGloin like, yo, you know your place, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do. And it went to show, you know what I'm saying, the same with, you know what I'm saying, the priest and everybody else. Like it was, in a weird way, some weird hierarchy with the immigrants, you know what I'm saying, in the time of in the Northeast at this time. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying, when they were coming over and leaving they lands, you know what I'm saying, like the Irish, the Scottish, it was some British people, you know what I'm saying, it was some German people, like it was a bunch of different, you know what I'm saying, people coming over from Europe to come to America to basically get a chance and get away from whatever they was facing in, you know what I'm saying, their home country. So, you know, of course, the majority of them are going to stick together, and then they're going to basically, you know what I'm saying, bully everybody else. And as you can see, like, that's really what it was like. Like, the people that was with Bill, they all were, you know what I'm saying, more than likely the same ethnicity as Bill, except for, you know what I'm saying, like McGloin. But, I mean, he was so loyal, you couldn't really get away from, you know, you couldn't really not have him, a dude like him on your team.
Well, there was a scene where they were showing some immigrants getting off the boat, and Bill is like, yo, he was like basically showing his disappointment without the people coming over. And he was like, yo, he was talking about the Irishman. He was like, yo, these dudes are getting getting a dime, you know, for their work that we used to get. You know, so what we used to pay, you know, saying quote unquote, the niggas, you know, a nickel for, and we used to get, you know, saying a quarter for it. So he looked at it like we're losing money as the, you know, the quote unquote whites by giving these Irishmen people, you know what I'm saying, 15 less than what, you know what I'm saying, what the white man is making. But at this point, that the white man wasn't even making a quarter for it anymore.
And it's so crazy hearing you saying this, bro, because it's like can you imagine, like, because now Irish people are considered like white people, but can you imagine at that time, like, they all basically like, yeah, we the white man, but nah, you not, you Irish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, that's
like
crazy to me, bro.
it is so nuts to me, man. Like to
Yeah.
hear it because it's just like, so if they ain't white, they like the whitest. Like, like what you
Mm-hmm.
mean? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so wild. But like, yeah, that time, man, that time period, man, it was so wild in the way that Bill, you know what I'm saying, the butcher, viewed that was
Mm-hmm.
so wild, man. But the one thing about him though, he always respected, and even when he would talk to Amsterdam about it, which we could transition over there, it's just like it had to be in an awkward place to hear how this man, like you seen him murder your father, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But being that age, like you don't really understand like the agreement that they had made going into it. Like
Yeah.
this like you said, it was a gentleman's, you know what I'm saying, thing that they did,
Yeah.
and that it was something that they felt that had to be done. So it was an honorable thing that they was doing, but both sides had to take their stance. So I think he was too
100%.
young to really understand it. But to go in and go up under his wing, you know what I'm saying, to learn him, to get close to him. He was
Mm-hmm.
really like one of the first spies, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
he was
in the
literally
United
behind
States.
enemy lines 100%.
Yeah. And like going in to get close enough to kill him. But at the same time, like, yo, to hear him just keep telling these stories about how he respected my father. Like he killed my
Mm-hmm.
father, but at the same time, he got so much respect for him. But at the end of the day, you killed my father, so I'm still taking
Yeah.
you out. But like it had to put you on an emotional roller coaster because it's like at one minute it's really cool how you respect him, but at the same time you still took his life, and I had to live without my father.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%.
what was your take on Amsterdam and his relationship with the butcher?
Man, Amsterdam, first and foremost, I always laugh watching Leonardo DiCaprio play this role because he's like, he ain't nobody but Jack from Titanic in this movie. Um, but he just got an accent this time. Uh, Amsterdam was interesting because he was super ambitious and he was super focused on not just getting, you know what I'm saying, that revenge for his father, but really just becoming one of the top guys in 5 points at that time. Like he got so, you know what I'm saying, he got in so good with the butcher that he ended up having his own gang. And for him to be able to basically rise up the way he did in the butcher's gang, it was like you kind of he you kind of wanted to root for him. Like, oh yeah, I definitely want him to take the butcher out at this point because it's like he's doing everything he can, and then of course, just like everybody else, man, he succumbed to the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Of a woman in Jenny Everdeen, man, and that's just one of them things that, you know what I'm saying, you kind of disliked her for a minute. Like you was just like, oh, what is this girl? Why did this broad come along, bro? Like she kind of messed everything up for him. But I mean, eventually, you know what I'm saying, it went the right way. But no, I enjoyed Amsterdam's character. I thought they you know what I'm saying, just seeing him, you know what I'm saying, from a child all the way to an adult, and then seeing the stuff that he had to go through to basically, you know what I'm saying, avenge his father's death was it was pretty dope. And then the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he was one of the only guys who just basically had a ragtag gang. You know what I'm saying? Like he had everybody in his gang. His gang wasn't no particular way. You know what I'm saying? He had I think he was the only dude with a black dude in his gang. Like,
There's a nigger in the
yeah,
church.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like that's one of them things that you kind of gotta, you know what I'm saying? It make you fall in love with his character because it's like, okay, he knows what he has to do, and he's gonna do anything possible to make sure that, you know, he's going to be okay and his gang is gonna be okay just because he's that type of guy. But the fact that he's going out of bounds and not having that traditional view on who his crew is going to be, like, yeah, I enjoyed it. What did you think about him?
Uh, I liked him. for someone to carry that, all that time, when they basically had him in like a kiddie prison or whatnot, but also to be so young and to think of like, yo, I'm gonna kill this guy, and I'm gonna kill him with the same knife that my dad was gonna kill you with. So I'm gonna snatch it, go bury it, and I'm gonna come back and get it when I'm grown. I thought that was cool. That they was able to do that. Also, like his character, stepping back into that town and having to, play another person, and then what I'm saying, your cover get blown the first day you there because this one dude recognized you. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the one kid in the beginning that was with him, and but what I'm saying, he turns out to be a snitch. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn
ruined everything.
Benedict, I don't know about this. Well, he was a traitor, but that was a traitor. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, it was just like that scene, man. I hated that scene, man, because it's just like, yo, and that's what I'm saying, man. Dudes be letting girls, man, fuck your whole shit up. Like
every time.
Like why? Like first of all, my guy, listen. Hold on, what's my dude name? God damn it, I'm calling.
Which one?
Because he pissed me off. My dude that sold him out. You know what I'm saying? Johnny.
Was it
right?
Shane? Oh, not Shane. You talking about Johnny.
So Johnny, there's a scene where they let the girls, you know what I'm saying, pick a date for the night. You know what I'm saying? They got the whole mirror joint. You know what I'm saying? She give him the nose. He comes up. She give your punk ass the no. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna stand there with a little shot look on your face. Get the fuck out the way, man. She told you no. You know what I'm saying? She had an opportunity to pick you. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want you. Accept it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, she man, listen, bro, you know how hard it is to get rejected in 1800, bro?
Man, listen, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? The girl just said no, step aside.
No. It's hard because they don't have no real rights. Like
nothing. They don't have nothing.
So if she tell you no at all, people like, come on, bro. Like you can't tell me nothing. Like I could just push you down right now. Nobody do anything about
it. This is true. But it's just like, yo, like she had opportunities to get you and she didn't want you. And then you gonna sell my man out because he's smashing now?
Yeah, that's some hater shit, man.
That's some hater shit, man. And he went and sold him out to the butcher, so the butcher was ready for him. You know what I'm saying? He had his aim game down. He was gonna fuck the butcher up.
Hey man, listen, I don't care what nobody say. That was cool and all, but the fact that you had to get prepared for a dude like that with one eye, man, you gotta be like Captain America to deal with the butcher, bro.
Hey, the butcher was on some shit, boy. Hey, he knew his ways around them knives, man.
I'm telling you, man, he was cold as ice, bro, and he can only see on one side. Like that ain't somebody you want to deal with.
Oh, definitely not, man. And how he was a craftsman, man. You know what I'm saying? He put on a show with Jenny. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With the little cut. You know what I'm saying? Just a little.
Man. Oh man! Just to let her know, like I know what's going on.
Yeah, not only that I know what's going on, but the fact of like, yo, like you make one false move, like, yo,
I can take you out at any point. And it'd be nothing. And nobody would care because it's the 1800s.
Exactly. And the way that they viewed you, you know what I'm saying? You was a pickpocketer. You know what I'm saying? So, it was all time funny. Like, and I don't know if I noticed it the first time I watched it because I might not have been really paying attention. But like, yo, when she had the little fake hand joint, and she slip her hand up in between, yo, I don't think I noticed that shit the first time I watched that. That was crazy,
bro. I mean, like But that's the thing, man. Like, not only is, you know what I'm saying, like, not only were they showing you, you know what I'm saying, like I said, as close to what 1800 New York would be like, but you also got to remember, like, bro, this is the type of shit that was going on. Like, it wasn't no cars for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's horses everywhere. People is, you know, they trying to vote here, vote there. Like, it was just so much. And to me, it was so much of this movie that just basically kind of gave you, you know what I'm saying, the most realistic point of view of that time. It was just one of those things that was, like I said, that Scorsese magic, bro. Like, he made you feel like you was there. Like, it's so many scenes in there that are so intense to where you kind of forget you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
If that make any sense. Like it felt like that a lot watching this movie.
Definitely, man. Like it felt so real, and like how they was able to, I mean, dude, the extras.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was so many extras, and like how they built this whole scene of the 5 points, and everything looked so real, like the mud that they were stepping in. Because like people got to realize, like you look at like a lot of old pictures. Like I love looking at old pictures and shit. Like this shit really looked like the fucking 1800s.
Yeah, the ports and all that, like the buildings. You know what I'm saying? Even the office. What was the mayor's office or whatever?
Yeah,
like that looked like an old building. That looked like one of them buildings that you've seen in your history books.
Man, listen, it definitely did, man. It was crazy, man. And but Martin, he gets deep into the shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He really got deep into this one. But even down to the costumes, like all that shit, like everything was like really, really on point. And the crazy thing was, you really gotta be a real one when there is a straight up war going around where they shooting bombs off and you still got one agenda on the mind. I am killing this motherfucker. Like, man, they shooting bombs in here.
You really gotta be a real one when they was taking baths in the big pans and the big metal pans.
Yeah.
And he was still trying to smash Cameron Diaz. You really gotta be a real one for that, bro. Cause ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I'm just like, at the same time, like I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, like there's bombs being shot off up in here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not thinking about motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, fighting you with a knife. Like I might get blown up.
I mean, you can't really say that because I mean, like, you can't really, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. You ain't in that position. Like, I think if you was in that position, you know what I'm saying, you out here trying to avenge your dad's death, and then like, at any time, this is the perfect time to get this dude. I think, you know what I'm saying, most people in that moment, once that adrenaline get going and them first couple bombs went off, you'll be all right.
Yo, listen, I feel you. But them bombs was going off, man. I'm sorry. Like them things was going off, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was crazy.
I don't know, my guy. Like
that was definitely crazy.
Yeah, it was wild, man. But Martin, man, that dude, he's a real one, man. He's a real one, and he really took the time, like. And the one thing that fucked me up, and I'm gonna tell you something, and this shit always gets me. And I didn't see this the first time. When they showed the picture of like when the whole war was over, and they showed where Jenny and Amsterdam was like burying like the body or whatever.
Yeah.
And they did that whole transformation of like people forgot about us, and then like start showing New York grow and become
it was progressing into like modern day.
Man, I really want to go to the little spot to see if those tombstones are there. Like,
but that's what I said, man. That's Scorsese magic, bro. Like, only Scorsese can put a movie together like that to where it, like, think about, you know what I'm saying, like, The Irishman. You know what I'm saying, like a movie like that, bro. The fact that you felt bad for Jimmy Hoffa in that movie was like, damn, they did Jimmy Hoffa dirty, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just that type of stuff, man. Like the way he directs movies and puts things together, and the way he's able to tell the story with the camera, like you just gotta appreciate the stuff that dude can do, man.
Man, that dude is something serious, man. Like,
definitely one of the greats, man. Might be the GOAT.
It might be. I mean, when you look at his body of work and what it really did for the culture, like, even though the one thing that I respect about him is if you know your lane, ain't nothing wrong with staying in it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
if you master, if you master it, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to step outside of that lane just because you mastered something.
Yeah.
And he tells stories not only, well, this ain't his time, but of his people. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be mad at him. You know what I'm saying? When you know what I'm saying, when the N word is dropped and stuff like that, because he do a lot of period pieces, and it's like that's how these people felt about these people.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. I totally agree. Like, anytime it's something like that, I don't really take offense to it, because it's like, if they don't do it, then are they really being, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you got to get in, you got to get into the character. Like, for instance, when Daniel Day-Lewis said it, it's like, I expect the Butcher to be one of them type of people to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then even when, you know what I'm saying, they was treating Jimmy Spoils the way they was treating him, like, where he almost got caught up and they was about to, you know what I'm saying, beat him up and hang him. Like, yeah, that to me, that seemed like that would happen in 1800.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, he made it as real as possible. And to me, it's like, without that, the movie isn't as, not just authentic, but the movie isn't as good as you would possibly want it to be. And I think him doing that makes, I mean, like the same thing with Tarantino doing Django. It's like, people was like, yeah, they said nigga, almost 1,000. I'm like, yeah, because it's slavery time. And yeah, that's what they was calling them.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was going around like, hey, black. Nobody was doing that, bro. Like, this is supposed to be about a specific time in history, and that's what was going on. So to me, like, when you watching these movies, you know, if they're trying to be PC about the movie, it's not going to be as good, because you're not giving people what, you know what I'm saying, the authenticness of that time. And to me, like, there was no PC thing about that. Like, even when they was talking about the Irish people, I think like he called somebody a Mick in that movie or some shit like that. And like, that's a racial slur for Irish people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, he makes sure that you know what I'm saying, like, that you feel like you're in that movie. And that's what I meant by it, like, because he gets so detailed, you know what I'm saying, like, all the way down to like just the small stuff. Like you said, just the way that he was talking to people, and him, you know what I'm saying, bringing up how the Irish is coming over and they making this and make, like, that had nothing to do with the whole story at all. But just the fact that he put that scene in there to where he's watching immigrants get off the boat, and then he's complaining, you know what I'm saying, about how the Irish are getting off these boats, and then they making, you know what I'm saying, 10 cent, which is killing everybody else who used to make all this other money. You know what I'm saying? They basically giving out cheap labor. And it's like, you realize that, like, immigration has always been an issue politically in this country. And then on top of that, you also realize that at one point in time, like, all white people did not get together. I mean, get along with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was beefing amongst each other. And then not only that, like, it had nothing to do with his campaign when he was running for mayor.
Yep.
None of that had nothing to do with it, because most of the people in the 5 points was Irish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so just him showing, you know what I'm saying? Like, just him showing that just lets you know, like, you felt the corruption in this movie. You felt the crime in this movie. You felt everything about this movie, and it was like, yeah, this is probably as real as it's gonna get.
Yeah, I feel you. We definitely on the same page, man. But yeah, it's one of those ones, man. I'm definitely not mad at it, man. I can see, but I ain't gonna lie though, like doing this, you know, we going into year 3, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I see your style, man. I see your style. Like, I be knowing, I be like, yo, I'm watching it, yo. Like, I know this one. Like, yo,
oh yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Like, listen, bro, any kind of like antagonist that they get that's like ruthless, or like, it's just one of them dudes to where he can't, like, because that's why a lot of people get confused when they say, like, well, what's your favorite Batman movie out of the Nolan trilogy? And I'm like, well, it would have to be, you know what I'm saying, The Dark Knight Rises. Like, yeah, Joker was doing this thing, don't get me wrong. But like Bane had this whole city of Gotham in terror, bro. Like literally
blew up a football stadium.
Nigga blew up a football stadium with the people on the field, bro.
And shot the doctor, the one doctor that could turn the damn bomb off in front of everybody.
Then not only that, this nigga was riding a tank down the street. And the police ain't had nothing for it, bro. Like, to me, that's the type of villain that I want to see. Then not only that, here come Batman. He think he about to throw hands with him. Nah, you thought you was born in it, you know what I'm saying? You thought you was a part of the dark. Nigga, I was born in it. Like, nigga, come on, man.
Yeah, that was the first time we seen Batman say,
yes.
And he didn't do shit.
Come on, bro. It did nothing, bro.
Nothing.
Broke that man back. And then blew up his basement. Come on, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the type of antagonist I like to see. And to me, I feel like the Butcher is that type of antagonist. Like, he had the whole city of he had the whole 5 points under his thumb. He had everybody in his pocket. Like, and then they had to take like a whole riot and a bunch of bombs to go off in order for Amsterdam to kill him. Like, that's what I like to see. That's how you're supposed to deal with a villain, especially a villain like that. Like, and there would have been, you know how mad you would have been if they'd just got into a regular fight and then like Amsterdam stabbed him and then he died. You'd have been pissed the hell off if that was the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? You'd have been mad as hell at the end of that movie, bro. But yeah, so for sure. That's definitely my type of character, man. You ready for these fire flames?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, man.
Yoga fire, yoga flame.
So, man, we're about to do these fire flames. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one because it's really gonna just be short. I'm giving it a 5. This is one of my favorite movies. I love this movie to death. It's one of the movies, once again, if it comes on, I'm watching it no matter where it is. It's also one of those movies that I just watch just to watch, and I love this movie. Daniel Day-Lewis does a hell of a job being the Butcher. Like I said earlier, I didn't even know what dude looked like in real life. And then, you know what I'm saying, Leonardo DiCaprio, it speaks for itself. The name is Leo the Legend. And then Cameron Diaz did a great job too. And then the supporting cast as well, man, they all did a great job. So I'm going 5.
No surprise there. Gonna go just a notch below you, man. I'm gonna give it a 4. I fucks with it. At the same time, you know, it's Martin. And one of the criticisms that I have, but Martin tended to do this, I just felt that it was a tad long. I think that some of the stuff could have been cut out. I didn't think they needed everything. But you know, a lot of people say that about The Irishman as well. So, but this is a thing that Martin Scorcese tend to do. So, you know, that just kind of is what it is. But for this movie to be what it was, you know what I'm saying, to be able to have Liam Neeson come in as a, you know what I'm saying, a guest appearance in the very beginning.
He was only in it for like 2-3 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, you know, but he got that type of pull though. So, but nah, it's a really, really good movie. I love the way how he took factual things and built a whole story around it. You know what I'm saying? And to make it a revenge story. So I like that. The cast, I mean, we all know Leo the Legend, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, you know what I'm saying, probably one of the best method actors out there.
Definitely.
You know, Cameron Diaz, you know, glad she's coming back into the game. So I appreciate seeing her. But I'm gonna rock with a 4 today.
So do you think that hold on, because I had a joke. It's gonna be ruined now, but I'm still gonna say it. You think Liam Neeson got his skills after this movie?
Fuck no.
Man, it was worth it. It was worth it. Let's go into the coming soon, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
So, coming soon, coming right back at you with another one. We have Deja Vu. This is the one with Denzel and Paula Patton, right?
Yes, sir. Don't do that, man. Don't the legend.
No, I was thinking of something else, but I was just making sure I was saying the right movie. I ain't want to disrespect it. Plus, you know what I mean, Paula Patton, fine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Erica the Great, she's in this bad boy as well. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a really, really great movie to do. Because first of all, it's Denzel. That's always a positive. But I think that, you know, this takes us back into that whole time travel thing, which is always a great conversation with you. But also, this has a different spin on time travel. You know what I'm saying? The way they explained it, you know, it was really kind of crazy where they got supposedly these satellites that can get you 7 days before, and it can only play, and you can't rewind it, and it's one shot, and all this crazy shit. They supposedly came up with this machine that could do this shit. So, you know, this science fiction version of time travel, I thought that it was a new spin on it. I thought that it was great, and I think it'd be something great to cover with you. So this is gonna be another one of those ones. Like there are certain ones where it's just like you get a feel. It's like, yo, this is gonna be one of those ones because there's a great conversation that comes along with it where it really takes you off the movie, but it's related to the movie. I think that's what Deja Vu gonna end up in.
Okay, yeah, man. We gonna definitely see. I haven't seen this in forever, but I will say this: you'll be very, very hard pressed to find a bad Denzel movie.
Oh yeah.
And even if you don't like it, you usually don't like it because you're comparing it to other Denzel movies. So, you know, he's also one of those guys that whatever he's in, bro, is it's gonna shoot straight to the top. So,
oh yeah.
All right, man. So, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. And now thank you guys for watching as well. We greatly appreciate it. If you like the show, if you didn't like the show, if you want to add some input, or you just want to give us a suggestion, you can always hit us up on our socials on Instagram or Twitter at ViewAnonPod, and you also can hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. As far as me, you can check me out on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. I have a link link in my bio. You can go there and find me everywhere else.
Yes, sir. Y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and Twitter, at 28 Minutes or Less Pod on IG. No new episode for this past week. I was out of town, but you can go back and check out episode, if I'm not mistaken, 96 on all major platforms. That was a great hip hop collabs. That's the last thing that's out right now. Trying to put together something new. I just got to find some time to do it. You know what I'm saying? I got a funeral that I have to attend this Saturday. That's usually when I pod. So I'm going to see what I can work out, see if I can put out some new material. So just be on the lookout. As soon as I know, I'll let y'all know. But go check out some of the old episodes. There's some with me and Scoots on there that was great. You know, so go check out the catalog.
For sure, man. And yeah, that's it, man. See you guys next episode. Your support is greatly appreciated. Without you, there would be no us. And like they say in Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Cut.